Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Living Interfaith Sanctuary. Before we begin, I just want to acknowledge that I'm currently seated on the land of Salt Spring Island, which has been part of the homelands of the Hunkaminam and Senkotan speaking peoples since time immemorial. I know that many of you are on the lands of other nations, so if you'd like, please feel free to write those nations' names in the chat. And as always, let us remember our connection to our siblings in these nations, and let's work and pray for the day in which we might be together in right relationship. Welcome. Welcome to Living Interfaith Sanctuary. Know that the whole of you is welcome. You're not asked to leave who you are in your own home. Please bring who you are into this space today, into this community, but you're also asked to remember that others here today have brought who they are into this community as well. But always, all of goodwill are welcome. So welcome to our final service of the year, marking the winter solstice with Tohji-taisai. So now I'll turn it over for our first song of this morning together.
Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leading, ours is no caravan of despair. Come, yet again, come, come, whoever you are, though you walk in your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come yet again, come, whoever you are, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come yet again, come.
As always, yet again, come. I love that song. Oh, well, good morning and time for little announcements. I'll start with some in-house announcements and share a little bit about what's happening around the Lower Mainland in Vancouver, and we'd love to hear if there's other things happening in your communities. First of all, just in from our sanctuary side of things, on January 3rd, that's our next service. After the service, we're going to be meeting as a group to plan for the services of 2026. All members are welcome to join. Have your interfaith calendars ready, and we're going to go through the year and just plan our kind of vision of what we would like to celebrate, who we'd like to invite in, and how we're going to mark that. So please join us if you'd like on January 3rd. January 3rd will also be our Mahayana New Year celebration, our Buddhist service. So please join us as well for that. Additionally, coming next Saturday will be our final Circle of Sanctuary for the year. Rachel will be leading that one. As always, you're welcome to come. It's an opportunity to connect in any of the teachings you may have received from the previous service, our opportunity to kind of deepen together. We have a time of 20 minutes of contemplation and reflection and sharing. It's just kind of an experiment and an opportunity to be together in community in a new way. And we've been doing them for a few months now, and it's been really lovely to have folks coming. It's always a new mixture of people who are there. Sometimes it's just one of us and one other person, but as it's always a delight to have. So Rachel and I have been enjoying them as markers of our own routine and weeks as they've been going by. So please join us if you'd like to. That's next Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for contemplation and discussion. Next announcement is this is happening in Vancouver, a winter solstice candlelit labyrinth walk. Join on Friday night. That's the 19th. Forgive me, that was last night. We're moving on. And this is one here, the Winter Solstice Lantern Festival. Here, this is the one. The Secret Lantern Society, which is a wonderful organization in Vancouver, is holding their annual Winter Solstice Lantern Festival this Sunday with various activities between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. It's a free event. They always have so many wonderful things and performances happening. I'm going to drop that into a link into the chat if anybody is curious about finding out more. Um, and yeah, I encourage folks to get out. It's going to be happening in Granville Island, Olympic Village, and Yaletown. There's multiple sites for that. So now I'd like to turn it over to our community. Any other announcements people would like to share about what's happening around you?
I have an announcement, and then I know Nivea has one. I was just wondering if anyone here wants a multi-faith calendar. If you do, just please message me and send me your address, and I'm happy to mail you one. So I have a big stack of them. And yes, and of course they are created by the Multi-Faith Action Society, which is the longest running interfaith organization in Canada. It's as old as me, so early 40s. And yes, and they're always so beautiful. So yeah, so just message me if you want one and I'll send it your way. Thanks.
Can
And
you
Nevaeh,
can you
you
show
wanna
us a little bit about of it to see what it's like?
okay,
Do you have one?
let me go get this past year's one. I don't think I have the new ones in the house yet, but I'll
Oh,
be
okay.
back
All right. Okay.
and talk amongst yourselves. Nevaeh, you have an announcement too.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did send it to the email address that I got this invitation from. So I don't know who receives that, but anyway, you said you wanted to know about other people's gatherings for the solstice, so I thought I'd let you know that I'm going to have a solstice gathering tomorrow at 5:30. I've invited some people over to have finger foods and light a candle lighting ceremony, and then at 7 o'clock, we're going to tell the I'm calling it an inclusive Christmas because we're going to tell a more complete story of the Christmas story. So, from information from many different faiths. So, what we read in the Bible tells us part of the story, but reports of Jesus are in many different religions. And so, this is an
Oh,
invitation to hear a more complete Christmas story. And I've asked the guests to be the storytellers. And so, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, for you, that would be 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
wonderful. That's tomorrow, you said that's happening?
Yeah,
Oh,
tomorrow
wonderful.
evening. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
I couldn't find a physical copy of the calendar, but I'll just send a link to them. And then if you're interested, let me know.
Okay, that'd be great. I used to get them every year, and they often have a theme um to them.
The
So
theme
I
this
just
year is
wondered.
growth and change.
Oh, okay, great.
So here, I'll just put it in the chat.
My school gets one. We have a community office in my public school, and they have the new one. I think it's probably the same organization, and it's beautiful. So I'm hoping it's the same one. But yeah, do we email you, Kathy, or how would I message you?
Uh, yes, I'll make a note that you want one and just email me your address so I send it to the right place.
Okay, or I could pick it up in Vancouver. Thanks.
Oh, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. Any more announcements anyone would like to share? All right. Well, let's go ahead and start to open up our hearts in prayer and sharing. I'm going to start with an opening prayer this morning by Rami Shandal. Let's join together in prayer. May you be nourished. May you be peaceful. May you be safe and the long road smooth. May you know homecoming and rest within it, with love like an old tin cup to drink cool sweetness from a well of creation. May you know wholeness in mind and body, and be freed with all beings from the causes of suffering. And our candle lighting prayer this morning comes from a portion of the Ohorai no Kodopa that honors natural cycles and purification. And these are the words. Heavenly and earthly defilements, sins of the living, wrongs of the dead, all are swept away by the great purification. As the sun returns, light grows anew. So too may the people be cleansed, and harmony with the kami be restored. Now, please invite you to unmute yourselves and greet each other this morning with a sign of peace. Blessings and peace, my friends. It's lovely to be with you.
Peace,
Peace.
everyone.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello, Pa.
Peace, everyone.
Peace, everyone.
Peace be with you.
Peace, everyone.
Thank you all. Nice to hear your voices. Thank you, Jacqueline. All right, I'll turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for our next song this morning.
Harai tamai, kiyome tamai. 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 Harai tamai, kiyome
Thank you. That was beautiful. Oh, I'd like to invite you all to join together in our joint affirmation. Let's share these words in our hearts and in our homes. We come together in peace. We sing together in joy and with love. We worship together in one house, a house with names beyond number. Our paths are many, our beliefs are as leaves, and the tree that we cleave to is nourished by the light of compassion, justice, and mutual respect. May our lives, our beliefs, and our actions help to bring about the world of love we all seek, and let it begin here. Now, we're going to just take a couple moments to settle into a bit of a grounded meditation place before I invite everyone to have some prayers for a few moments. The season of reflection, of purification and release within our today's celebration and honoring. So maybe we keep these things in mind, but let's just settle our bodies in the moment. Part of that release as well is just letting go of in this very present being anything that we're clinging to physically, any tension that we feel like we could just release a little out of our bodies. As our bums sink into our seats deeper and our shoulders let go a little more, letting our jaw soften, skin and muscles around our temple and our eyes, just letting go. Just invite you to take a really deep breath in, holding it when you get to the top. And then just let it out slow and steady, a little bit slower than you breathed in. Let's do that again. Another deep breath in, holding it when you get to the top, and releasing it slow and steady out of your body. You can continue with that breath cycle a couple more rounds if you feel like you could benefit from a few more deep, nourishing breaths. Otherwise, just settle into your regular breathing, drawing in any parts of attention that are trying to pull you away, just asking them to pause for now as we sink here together in community. Just knowing that right now across this planet, we are surrounded by this small group of folks, and we're all gathered here together with our hearts and minds, sharing, connecting, present together. Maybe you can feel some tendrils of light moving between you and others that you know are here right now in this gathering. Just allowing yourself to sink into the trust of community in this moment, and the release of presence, the gift of belonging. From this resting place now, let's turn our hearts and our minds and our spirits open to prayer. And I just want to invite you for any prayers that you feel are calling to you, any places in the world or people or causes that you'd like to turn to spirit, to the divine, to the mystery in. We're just going to take a couple minutes here to pray in our own homes, in our own ways. Thank you. May it be so. May it be so. Thank you, friends. Well, we're going to turn over to Cheryl and Bruce for another song. Thank you.
Tenshoko taijin, mamori kyue kobai kyue. 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 Tenshoko taijin, mamori kyue shoko taijin, mamore kyue kobai kyue.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you. And now is the time of sharing our wealth, where we invite, if anyone is able or has the willingness, ableness to share, and we know so many of you already do, that we just invite any donations to our small organization. That money goes towards paying our small staff and musicians. We have very little overhead otherwise, and I just want to thank everyone who, as I said, already donates. I'm going to put a link in the chat if you have interested in offering up anything this morning, and I'm going to turn it over to Bruce and Cheryl for another song as we share our wealth. Thank you.
From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give. Together we share, and from this we live.
Thank you all. Well, this is the time in our service where I usually introduce our speaker for the day, but today we're doing something a little bit different than usual. We don't have a formal speaker for today, but Rachel has found some lovely videos to share with us about Tohji-taisai, the winter solstice, and how it's honored in the Japanese, Shinto, Buddhist cultures. So after we watch these videos and get a chance to learn more, we're just then going to invite kind of an open sharing for people to talk about any traditions you have that mark the solstice. And I look forward to hearing those things as well. So Rachel, I turn it over to you, my friend.
Yeah, so I have two short videos for us this morning. The first is a myth about Amaterasu, who Bruce and Cheryl highlighted in one of their songs, who is the goddess of the sun in the Shinto tradition. So we'll watch that first, and then we'll watch a clip about how Japanese people celebrate both the solstice and the upcoming holidays for the end of the year. So I will share that now. Oh, wait. Trying to make sure I share the sound so you can hear that as well.
From the Shinto religion practiced in Japan, Shinto meaning the way of the gods or spirits, comes the story of Amaterasu, the sun goddess. The universe began when the god Izanagi escaped from the underworld. As a cleansing ritual, he bathed in a river and created 3 siblings. The eldest, Amaterasu, was born when her father wiped his left eye. She was immensely bright and beautiful, was placed in the heavens, and became the goddess of the sun. Izanagi then wiped his right eye, from which another bright being was born, Tsukiyomi. Although not as bright or radiant as Amaterasu, he became the god of the moon. The skies were divided in this way, day and night, between both siblings. The youngest, Susanoo, was born when Izanagi wiped his nose. He was not beautiful or bright, but wild and uncontrollable, and was told to rule the ocean and became the god of storms. Amaterasu and Susanoo constantly argued. Susanoo always found a way to upset his sister. One day, when she was quietly weaving in her palace, Susanoo flew over her house and dropped a bloody, dead horse through the roof, thinking it would be amusing to frighten her. The blood splattered all over the floor, on Amaterasu and her beautiful tapestry. She was furious, and her work ruined. The goddess of the sun was so angry that she went into a cave, pulled a giant boulder over the entrance, and decided never to come out. Inside the cave was warm and bright, while outside the entire world was left in total darkness. Imagine an endless and cold night. Plants couldn't grow, animals couldn't eat, and everything seemed to fall into chaos. All the spirits of the mountains, rivers, plains, and valleys came to the cave, begging Amaterasu to come out and save them. But she was still angry and would not listen. The gods and goddesses concluded that somehow they had to convince her to come out. So they all sat in a circle in front of the cave and pretended to have a joyous gathering. One of the goddesses flipped a wooden tub over, jumped on it, and started an amusing dance. Her footsteps on the tub made a drumming sound, and her silly dance made the other gods laugh. Their laughter attracted the attention of Amaterasu. She was curious to see how others could be happy without her brilliant presence. She pushed the boulder slightly open and asked what the other gods were doing. They yelled back, "We're celebrating and having a great time. We found another goddess just as radiant and beautiful as you." Amaterasu was confused. Another goddess like me? She thought. She didn't know how to feel, but was curious to see who this other goddess was. She moved the boulder further open and looked out. A wise god had made a mirror out of shiny metal and hung it on a tree in front of the cave. When Amaterasu looked out, all she saw was her own reflection staring back at her. Because mirrors weren't created yet, she didn't realize that she was looking at herself, and believed that in fact there was another beautiful sun goddess. As she leaned out even more to have a better look, one of the gods grabbed her and pulled her out. Another god quickly pushed the boulder and closed the entrance to the cave, and a third hung a holy rope over the entrance, making it a sacred place where no one could enter. After seeing the effects of her absence, Amaterasu came to realize how important she was to the gods and to the world. She decided to take her place in the heavens once more. If you ever find yourself in Japan, you can go to the grand Shinto shrine in Ise, where that same mirror of Amaterasu is housed. But no one is allowed to look upon it, except for the Emperor of Japan. According to Shinto belief, the Emperor is a direct descendant of Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun. Therefore, he is the only one who can gaze into the mirror.
So that's our first video. And then our second one, sorry, I just realized that it stopped. So I'm going to find it again. Is about how people in Japan celebrate both Toji, which is the solstice, and also some other holidays, so the end of the year. So it's a mixture of Buddhist and Shinto beliefs, which is um, seem to be an influence on most people in Japan these days. So I'm going to pull that up. And I'm just going to mute myself. Sorry, while I play.
And then on the December 22nd, we have Toji, or the winter solstice. Somehow we don't do anything on the summer solstice. There isn't really a celebration for this, but it's just a ritual thing that we eat at home. We eat things that has the noun of un, because the word un means luck in Japanese, and so it's just a word play, word pun. Try to have the luck inside us. So like ninjin, renkon, ginnan, kinkan, kanten, udon. And in the evening when we take a bath, on the baths we put in the yuzu peels. I just have a really nice scent, and it's just a really nice thing. I really enjoyed this as a child, and supposedly the oil and the yuzu peel have a relaxing effect, but also to prevent the skin from drying. So if you can get hold of yuzu, then I suggest give it a try. And on the last days of the December, we have Omisoka. There's also really no festival for this, but this is a day where we thank the gods of each buildings. Because in our Japanese tradition, we thought that the gods or the spirits were everywhere, and also each house has their own god or spirit. So we thank them, and as a thanks we do so-called osoji, or the big cleaning, and we clean the house. And this is also something we do in our schools. So the last day of school, we do a big cleaning of the whole school, and we do this also in the companies. For the Western culture, it's probably unimaginable that you clean the company that you work in. But in Japan, that's also a ritual to thank the company building. We clean the whole building with all the co-workers. I think it just also has a nice bonding effect within the co-workers and not just work for the business. And then on that evening of the last day of the year, we eat toshikoshi soba, just a plain soba noodle to thank that we have lived so long. And right before the year turns, we have so-called joya no kane. Each temple usually have a big bell, and they hit this bell 108 times. For all the evil desire and evil thoughts. Because in the Buddhist philosophy, it is thought that mankind have 108 evil thoughts and evil desires, and so the temples hit 108 times to wash out these 108 evil thoughts, so that we can come into the new year with a clean slate. And you can also see part of this in this video, so if you're interested, you can watch that as well. So that's the end of this video.
I love it. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much. I just want to be mindful of time, so I think what I'm going to suggest is that we have our final song, our final prayer, and then we'll stop the recording, and then we can do our sharing if anybody wants to stay after and have an opportunity to share about our solstice and reflect on what we've learned. So thank you for the learning, and I'm going to turn over to Cheryl and Bruce for our final song, and then I'll close with final prayer.
sarete no masua se
Thank you. Let's close our time together in prayer. May the season of darkness emerge into lightness. May those parts of us that are needing to be released leave as the sun starts to change in course and bring more light to our lives once again. May we release and find freedom from, and may we find opening doors, may we find a welcoming light of the new day. We ask for companionship and community at a time of most needed, when isolation and loneliness can overwhelm. We ask that we remember that we each carry our own light within us and that we make the world brighter by our coming together. May the solstice time remind us of all these things. Blessings to you all. May it be so.